we have so many different irons in the fire. Last week was a great example of you just being like, we're trying to get the pod going. We had the cameras going. Then your wife had to go and do the photo shoot. So she had to take that camera, and then the girls were in here, and you were trying to be dad. But that's a microcosm of just
that's life
of how our lives are a lot of times. But the good news is for all the people that were tickling their ear holes with our voices every week,
right,
is that no matter what is happening, we are trying to just
trying to do
voice this upon you, whether you like it or not.
For
here
sure.
we come. We're gonna put something out there and give you some content, even if it's absolutely insane.
Yeah, which is, dude, I mean, it's been awesome. Microcosm of life, that's a great way to put it, because that has been especially, taking on something, but it was also kind of, part of the reason that, I've been diving into this headlong, because I'm I don't know, I feel like I should be doing something like this, I should be challenging myself. And last week was such a huge challenge, dude. But we made it through, so it's cool. It's fun to have a challenge, a new thing to learn, all that kind of stuff.
Do you feel like after that, everything in life that is difficult when you do it, we talked about this on the phone, how we were faced with different things that we've had to go through, whether it was breakdowns at work, learning how to operate machinery we weren't comfortable with, all this other stuff. We feel like every time you're faced with one of those challenges, it is extremely frustrating and sometimes daunting at that moment when you're just trying to figure it out and get it going, right?
Yeah.
But every single time that happens, because you've been dealing with stuff with your house here lately that you probably before didn't have that great of a understanding of how to handle that. But coming through that, you have a lot more confidence in the future. I can handle that. I can do that. And then same thing for me. I've been handling a bunch of stuff with my septic system at my house and my well pump at my house.
And you're not a plumber.
Yeah, and all this stuff. But every time that happens to you, when you get on the other side of that, you have experience. You have more confidence. So
and you've got appreciation too. It's almost
so what I'm asking you is, have the challenges made you into a better podcaster because you just had to grab the bull by the horns and be like, all right.
Yeah, I think it has. I think it's made me a better podcaster, and then I think it's made me honestly just at a certain point, if you can turn around and appreciate all the difficult times and the stuff that you had to fight a battle that you weren't trained to fight, I think it makes you somebody that goes, man, I don't really want to hand a hold. I want to kind of forge my way through this, because when I come out on the other side, I'm going to be a stud, or I'm going to be better at all this. I'm going to be more capable, and that's what I've been honestly so excited about with the podcast. Not just that, but one facet of it is I don't have training in any of this stuff. I'm flying by the seat of my pants.
Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly, dude.
I'm not dead yet.
I ain't dead yet. Keep trying, yo.
Yeah.
But I think back to January, I guess, when we first started doing it, and I was sitting there with just what we had and the knowledge that I had, and it was absolutely zero. And so I'm that I had. You obviously, with your training as a broadcast journalism major, you know what's up much more than I do, but I do think that probably a lot of the difficult times through dealing with things that I wasn't quite sure how to deal with, but then just trying to persevere and rely on me instead of other people, kind of actually got me excited to do some of this, because I'm doing stuff that I don't know about. But now here we are, 10 months in, I know a lot more about it, and then I look at it and I'm like, dude, what can we do when we look at 2 years from now?
Right, and we talk about that weekly of adding new things and trying to, and if you started listening to us back in January and you've seen the progression of kind of where we've come,
it can't be recognized.
Yeah, there's a lot more on the table now. So a year from now, what's
it gonna look like? Yeah,
it's gonna be scary.
Yeah, I mean, dude,
which is fitting because it's spooky Spooky
yeah, it's spooky season, dude.
Yeah.
So a spooky season year from now, you're gonna be scared of the Purvcast. But it's just cool, man. Like, well, for one, 10 months ago, it's unrecognizable because you couldn't see us.
You can see us now. I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, for that.
I don't always look.
We've got faces for radio.
Yeah.
And
I'm not always the best thing to look at, but hey,
dude,
here we are.
We've got faces for radio and voices for silent movies.
Yeah.
So we're fighting an uphill battle.
We've got the worst of both worlds.
Yeah, dude. Freaking faces for voices for silent movies with just like honky talk.
All right, so as much as I
hold on, real quick. Let me finish the point I was getting at.
Please.
If you are somebody or have a kid that would like to learn a skill set, to start, or not a kid,
2, 3, 4,
but a younger, 5, 4 or 5.
Okay.
Ooh, boy. If you would like to, if you know somebody even that would like to learn a skill set about audio and video production and things of that nature, and would like an opportunity to learn, send them our way. Hit us up. We will. I will.
We promise we won't cuss on that episode.
I don't know.
Sorry.
We don't. Yeah, I can't promise that. Sometimes it just flows.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'll teach you. We will teach you in exchange for once you're up to speed and can handle it, running the board. Because what I would really like is when we want to have some information or some kind of file or story pulled up, I'd love to have that live pulled
right?
Because a lot
as opposed to like, hang on, let me grab my phone and like try to find it.
For sure, yeah. So that's the idea, and then also watching levels, making sure everything's good. So if
gotta watch the levels.
Yep, if somebody's interested in that, hit us up.
Okay.
And
Ethan, we're like 15 minutes in. I have to ask you this.
Okay. Excellent.
So, like, when we started talking about the pod, you said that you had a couple of funny, kind of crazy stories.
Yeah.
I had a couple funny, crazy stories last week or the week before, but we never kind of jumped into yours. So, give it to me.
Okay. All right. So this is one that happened actually, these two stories happened back to back, but on Saturday, I took my girls to the park here in Battlefield, which is, pretty nice park, good place to play. They love to go. It's so much fun. Put them in the swings, in these, we call them the diaper swings. They're the ones that have four holes or whatever, legs go in, and it's nice because I don't have to worry about them flipping out and hitting the ground. So we go to the diaper swing park, put them in there, start swinging them, having a really nice time, just they're never happier than when they're on a swing. And of course, I'm smiling because they're smiling and laughing. It's a wonderful time. Well, then I look off to my left, and there's these kids on bicycles that were like riding on the track that surrounds the park, but then just kind of like got into the grass and started crossing, in front of us, or I guess behind the girls in front of me because I'm looking at them going past this swing set. And right over here, there's this pavilion. Like a picnic pavilion, and in front of that picnic pavilion, I noticed that somebody had they had brought their expandable dog cage to set up by the pavilion, and then they had another dog stroller setting out here, and then
Did you just say dog stroller?
Dog stroller to push your dog or to take your dog for a walk, but you have a dog stroller so they don't have to walk. Dude, it's
I'm baffled. What I thought you were supposed to walk your dog. Doesn't a dog stroller negate that?
Yeah.
I'm very confused.
I think this is a real double negative that doesn't make a positive. So you know what I'm saying?
So we're putting our dog that we're supposed to be walking in a stroller. And then they're not walking.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
what the
yeah, dude.
That is some stupid shit.
But I'm sorry, man. I've seen it before too. People literally put their dogs in the stroller and then go for a walk. They're walking their dog.
What is the point of this?
I don't get it, dude. I don't know.
I'm not trying to derail your story.
No,
I'm not sure I understand the concept.
I don't know if there's I don't know if maybe it's if you're feeling like you've got a void or missing that paternal or maternal, like taking care of someone dependent on.
But doesn't your dog need to walk? Like,
yes,
isn't that part of taking care of your dog?
I don't know, man. I don't know what it means, but it like, and this is a whole other topic.
I'm sorry, man. I'm blown away. Dog stroller. That blew my mind.
I have complained about it before too. Like, I think I told you guys about the time that I was in the gas station and the lady in front of me, or the lady behind the counter, is telling this person at the register, she's like, yeah, we lost our dogs our dog or cat a couple weeks ago, and that's just as bad, if not worse, than losing a kid.
Yeah,
and I'm like, come on,
dude.
All right, well, I'll take one. Mm-hmm. Anyway, that maybe the two aren't related, but they had this little expandable dog kennel and a dog stroller, and then there's this lady, like total hipster, like big old gauge earrings, and then she has two kids also that are there playing at the park, and she hasn't looked at either one of them the whole time. She's looked at her phone the entire time, and her other two kids, I don't even think she knows where they are, right? And they're probably like, I don't know, little girls maybe like 7 or 8, and then the boys like 11 or 12, and they're in this pavilion with their portable dog shit, and then here comes these kids riding their riding their bikes, and they're coming over to the pavilion, and again, these are probably like 11, 12-year-old kids, and all of a sudden I'm thinking, man, these kids are just walking over there because that's somebody they know or something, and out of nowhere, this lady with the portable dog stuff, and just super Karen, like PC.
Oh, you said Karen. It's over.
Karen
store just got really
PC good. Blue hair looking. Okay, the thing I did didn't work.
I think that one is probably TV.
You think the TV's on the timer?
That's a TV setting.
Okay, if it doesn't get it input.
Yeah, because I think you got that fixed. Oh, you're doing it now.
Well,
okay.
I'll just do that. Well, yeah. Okay. All right, whatever.
Whatever.
I'm gonna have to.
We'll do it live.
This is the first time I've looked into this, or I've used this.
You know what? I think it's going great. Continue.
Yeah, F+, dude.
F+.
Anyway, she comes like speeding over. She's got a dog on the leash. Children way back behind her. Turns her back to her kids. She doesn't know where they are because she's been watching her phone for whatever 15 minutes. And she comes flying over.
She's probably watching YouTube videos of people with dog strollers.
Yeah. She's like, she's trying to figure out which upgrade. Yeah. Or why am I doing this?
Why am I doing this?
Yeah. So she comes flying over towards this kid, like power walking, speed walking, just dragging her dog.
Karen walking.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
And her dog is like,
what that's like.
I don't want a Karen walk. And so she's essentially just dragging it by its neck, kind of behind her.
Okay, I'm starting to understand the dog stroller now, but go ahead.
Okay, yeah, good point, dude. I get it too now.
Yeah.
But anyway, she goes up.
I can't Karen walk all the freaking time. Put me in a freaking stroller.
My name's not Karen. I don't suck.
Put me in this damn stroller right now.
Sure, dude. Anyway, she drags the dog over, gets over to the kid, and gets right in his face.
Oh, God.
And keep in mind, this is like a late 30s, 40-year-old woman, and an 11, maybe a 12-year-old kid. Gets right in his face and goes, I told you to get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. I'm calling the cops right now. And the kid says something like, I was just trying to make amends. And she goes, I'm gonna call the cops. And then, and literally, this kid was being, I saw him being kind and respectful. That doesn't mean that he had always been that way in interactions with her. But what I saw, he was being kind and respectful, just trying to...
He was the anti-Karen.
Yeah, he was the anti-Karen, dude. I almost said he was the Kyle, but that's the male Karen.
Kyle.
Yeah, anyway, she goes, you think that you can just bully my son and then come over here and bully me too? She's going, getting emotional, saying, you think that this 11-year-old kid can just come over here and bully me, a 40-year-old woman, which I don't.
Aren't Karens pretty much the bullies of society?
They are, and that's what this lady was. She
adult woman bullies of society.
Yes, yeah, and she's also
just to check it.
She's also the like POS that gives the Karen the bad stigma too, because it was.
Which, by the way, if your name's Karen and you're a sweetheart and you're a really nice person,
we're sorry.
We're sorry.
Yeah, we're sorry that thing ever.
We're not talking about you.
Yeah. I just had to assign this lady a name because it really I
get it. No, if you say Karen, like everybody knows what you're talking about.
Yeah, for sure. It's a good preface.
I like it.
Yeah. But then it was two little buddies, a little black boy and a little white boy, just riding up on their bikes, and both of them being so nice and respectful, and I'm like, dude, all right, you're giving your group the bad name here, lady. Okay, she was so mean and just insinuating that I'm gonna jump off a bridge because your 11-year-old ass is bullying me.
Did she ever give them a chance to
no,
make amends or do whatever?
Nope. She's pointing, dressed
oh my gosh,
ecstatic. Get out of here! Get out of here! Wow. I'm gonna call the cops. Where do you live? Where do you live? And I'm gonna call my dad. My 75-year-old dad, we're gonna come fight you, Anyway, it was just sad and I don't know, so not disappointing, I guess. I was just I was to the point where I was about to, and give me your opinion, because Ashley gave me her opinion.
Yeah, go ahead.
And she was,
because I've got an opinion too, but go ahead.
Yeah, so she was Ashley's I would have said something. She's I would have done something. And I told her, I said, well, here's the thing. I got the two little girls in the diaper swing. And I'm ready to say something. They're probably about 20 yards away, maybe. Okay? And so I'm if I walk over there and intervene on this lady being an absolute tyrant to these little boys that seem to be respectful at the moment, then I've got my girls left alone in these diaper swings with my back turned, and then and I'm kind of a paranoid helicopter parent. I'm what could happen in that instance? And then I'm also going, well, I remember I was a punk ass kid at one point, and I would have done dude, this kid might have been an absolute animal a few minutes ago, but I'm also judgmental. So looking at this lady, I'm going, no, she looks like the lady that does this. This is the lady that.
Okay, can I just put my perspective in here real quick?
Yeah, throw a little bit.
Okay. So I know what's going on with this lady.
Okay.
So a couple nights ago, my lovely wife and I were watching TV. Yeah. And you know how we've talked about these pharmaceutical commercials thanks, Dr. Disrespect. That I hate so much, right?
For sure, yeah.
And I saw the mother of all pharmaceutical commercials, and I'm pretty sure I know what's going on with this. Okay, and it has something to do with that. So. No, it wasn't Ozempic. It wasn't Ozempic, okay? It's you're fat, now you're not fat. Oh, what happened? Ozempic.
Yeah, right. Be happy.
Yeah.
Oh, Dad. No, I think we're good.
Oh, Dad. Yeah, we love you, Dad. We love you, Dad. Okay, so, let me give you my opinion. Okay. I'm sorry. No, just keep doing it, man. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he hasn't, that's not, copyrighted or anything.
Alright, okay.
But anyway, so...
Maybe if we hashtag yeah.
The Dr. Disrespect is nope. Yeah.
Or maybe
the best thing that could ever happen to this podcast is Dr. Disrespect being these guys stole my stuff.
That's what I'm saying. If we hashtag
yeah.
Then
dude, just keep doing it. Yeah.
If he gets pissed.
And
then eventually we're dude, all right, how about this? We'll never say it again, but will you come on the podcast?
Yeah. And hold on. My wife did that the other day to one of our kids. She was like, Gus,
Dr. Disrespect on the podcast?
Yeah. And I was like, what did you say, man? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, that's Dr. Disrespect.
For sure, dude. Yeah, I don't want to be Dr. Disrespectful by using your line, but it is just a...
Okay, so pharmaceutical commercial.
Yeah.
And this pharmaceutical, you said that this lady was in her 40s, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and say...
I'm going to say late 30s, potentially
Okay,
40.
I was thinking maybe like mid to upper 40s, so this is why this pharmaceutical ad came to mind.
Okay, yeah.
Especially with the...
Hold on, can I guess? I might have seen one last night.
Okay,
Can I
hold
guess?
on. Yeah, go ahead.
This is a hot flash.
Oh my
This
god,
is a
dude!
hot flash.
Holy shit! Oh my god! Okay, this freaking...
That's it.
Yeah, this is the best pharmaceutical commercial of all time. Because here's
Yes,
why,
dude.
okay? They say, okay, have you had a hot flash or something like that? Like, it shows this lady, like, waking up in bed and she's like, you know, hold on, auto producer wasn't on me. But,
Yeah, no, I gave up.
You do it. You show it. It's like, yeah, right. And then it's like, it goes through all this stuff. It's like, it's so miserable going through. Okay, and I'm not like dissing on anyone that's going through menopause at all. What I'm talking about is this commercial is like, have you had a hot flash, right?
Yeah.
And this is what's the most terrible thing about going through menopause. And then it goes through, well,
It sucks because it's like, you know,
And
like
then
most women I know that have been through menopause, they like, having a hot flash, and they're fanning themselves with a book or something.
Right.
But this commercial has a lady sitting in an ice bath, and she's going, I'm still burning up.
yeah.
Not really, but sorry, go ahead.
The commercial, though, is ridiculous because it goes through all this stuff like you're having hot flashes, which is the worst part of menopause, and here we go, we're going to fix this for you, right? Get to the end. At the end of every pharmaceutical commercial, which I'm sorry that our podcast has turned into essentially every single week we talk about pharmaceutical commercials. But seriously, it's getting it's
out of hand.
It's
dude.
freaking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the commercial, what do they always do? They go through what? The list of
The disclaimers.
side effects, right?
Please tell me that one of the potential side effects is hot flash.
No, I
Are you
swear to
serious?
God, dude. I swear to God, dude. One of the freaking side effects is a hot flash. I could not believe it. When I heard it, I was like, wait. I rewound it. I actually rewound and watched the commercial again because I'm like, they did not just say that a side effect for a freaking drug that's supposed to reduce hot flashes is a hot freaking flash.
Dude, that is literally if Ozempic's disclaimer said, this drug may cause extreme hunger and cravings. You know, like
Yeah, exactly.
that's the same as what it would be. Okay, so all right. First off, if you think we sound a lot alike,
we think a lot
alike.
Oh my god!
And we had no idea this is coming up.
Yeah.
Right.
When you were talking about this lady, though, I'm like, what is wrong with her? And the only thing I could think of was
Hot flashes.
she's going through menopause. She just got this medicine that's supposed to take care of her hot flashes. She's taking the medicine, and she's still having hot flashes. And she's like, damn it! Yeah, she's just raging on 11-year-old boys because freaking pharmaceutical company that's screwing her life up.
Yeah. She's like, do they not realize I bought this without insurance?
You know? And it's like more expensive than Ozempic.
Yeah, should have just done Ozempic and just had extreme cravings all the time.
I'm sorry, dude.
Dude, that is epic, dude. That is astounding. Let's take that one step further to this. And this is like, think of, and I'm just doing comparisons of like this commercial and their disclaimer compared to what the drug is supposed to do.
Right.
Okay?
Which, by the way, the drug is supposed to stop this one thing. One of the side effects of the drug is this one thing.
That's what I was going to say. So like now, like AIDS is not a thing anymore, right? Like it's dead pretty much because they have a medication that will like pretty much eliminate it. But imagine if you're watching it, like we complained about one of these commercials a couple weeks ago that it was like, hey, can I not just watch something with my family?
Yeah, for sure.
Just, you know, like let's leave it out of it, please. Right? But that commercial.
Oh, you got AIDS. We got a drug for you. Take our drug. One of the possible side effects of this drug is
AIDS.
You might get AIDS.
Yeah.
Again.
If you do not have AIDS, do not take the drug without consulting a doctor. It may cause AIDS.
You like show up to the doctor's office. You're like, Doc, I don't know what's wrong, man. I'm not doing too well. He's like, man, I'm sorry, man. You got HIV. You're like, what? How'd that happen? He's like, did you take...
You took that medication?
Yes.
Wait, you listened to me?
Yeah. You took that medicine? Yeah.
And he goes, I'm sorry, man. You got AIDS, dude. You're going to have to take this medicine for the rest of your life. And he goes, no.
No.
Yeah, it came out last week that, it came out last week that this actually causes AIDS, man. So, my bad on that one. Sorry, dude. Didn't mean to ruin your life or anything.
Dude, to me, the whole pharmaceutical industry at this point is a laughing stock. I don't even if a doctor prescribed me something, I would have a hard time. Like, pretty much this happened for me. Like, and I'm sorry if you're a true believer in the COVID vaccine. Like, I'm sorry, I'm 100% out on that, and I don't care what you say. I'm never going to be in on it, and maybe in 20 years, you guys can say, you were wrong and I was right. And I'll be like, oh, I'm dead because I didn't take the COVID vaccine. But I'm just going to tell you this right now. Ever since then, I feel like the pharmaceutical industry, the gloves have come off, and it's just free reign. I don't know what happened, but like, if you're selling...
They went, we got them.
Yeah. No, they were like, let's just... Let's just do everything. Like, let's make a medicine for hot flashes that gives you hot flashes.
Yeah.
It's cool, man. Like, they took the COVID vaccine, and that didn't help. For sure. This COVID vaccine may make you die from COVID. So, let's just make a hot flash vaccine. For sure. And it may give you hot flashes. Yeah. They'll take it. It's stupid.
It's insane, dude. And I would almost guarantee. I'm
not trying to get political. I'm just saying, like, that's how fucking ridiculous this is.
I know, it's so stupid. Like, just think about this. The drug that you were taking to eliminate the thing that is happening to you might cause the thing that you are trying to stop happening to you.
Which, I mean, essentially was what was going on with COVID vaccine.
Yeah.
Like, there were people that were actually... that were
like, well, I died
of prevalent cases of COVID from the people that had vaccine. So it's like, this is...
He died of a blood clot, but at least he didn't get COVID. He only got it like twice.
I'm wondering if it's reverse psychology. If people are like, well, I don't know how I'm going to die, but I would like to know how I'm going to die. So I think I'll just take this medicine that's going to assure that I get cancer so that I know that I'm going to die from cancer.
Assisted suicide.
I mean, pretty much. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
I don't mean to rant on that, but the whole Karen thing, as soon as you start bringing that up, I was like, she's obviously having hot flashes,
dude. That is so good. And that went to a good place, too. That is fun and hilarious.
I wasn't even trying to tie it in, but automatically
it worked perfect.
Holy crap.
Dude, I'm trying to think. I've got kind of a, slightly political. I don't even know if I should go there.
All right, how about this? How about at 42, we're done with the...
No, that's like
40. What are you trying to do right now?
All right, 4 minutes.
All I see on the screen right now is massive poop.
All right, so immediately as soon as we get done at the park, right?
Oh, so this is a continuation.
This is a continuation.
Right, give it to me.
We end up, we play and we're hanging out, having such a good time, and then
there are good massive poops and there are bad massive poops.
So it's time to pack up and roll out, and I get the girls in the truck, and we're headed back to the house, and I just start smelling it, dude. It's no. It was on the slide that I started smelling it, and I thought that they just farted. Yeah, because that's why I put down untimely.
Yeah,
poo-splosions.
Yeah.
So then, whatever. I'm not going to go into too much detail because everybody that's a parent has had
this has happened.
Poo-splosions. It's just one of those things, But then, as soon as we got back to the house, it's like time for, I need Centos to come in and clean up and make us ready for the day.
Hold on. What's that company where they're like it never even happened? Who is
Surf Pro?
Surf Pro, yeah.
I needed Surf
Pro.
It never even happened. Yeah, I needed a remodeling.
This segment is brought to you, hopefully someday, by Surf Pro.
Yeah, Artist Dave.
Yeah. Like it never even happened.
Yeah, for sure. I wish, dude.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was that, and then, and that's my little, and then her older sister, smashed her head into a wall or something. Remember how I told you all the time that she's all gas, no brakes, and lots of walls?
That I've got one like that.
Yeah. So
my 3-year-old, he is 100%. Yeah.
So
I gotcha.
So we have this thing that's soaked through pants, soaked through my shirt, just carrying her from into the house. Soaked through everything, and then it's time to go like lay her down. And this is a total shower. Like this is a shower doo-doo.
Yeah,
You know
I got
what
you.
I mean?
I've been there. Yeah, I understand.
The wipes aren't doing anything
Right.
for you. Anyway, and that like while I'm trying to
we're talking
do this
like
up,
total sanitization. We need to bring in like the environmental cleanup crew
for sure, hazmat
gear.
situation.
Right.
Yeah. While I'm trying to do this is when Big Sister smashes her head into the wall and like has a little scratch. But as you saw earlier, like sometimes the little things can be the big things.
They are.
And so I'm trying to hold two legs up in the air and together and keep from getting just like doo-doo all over the carpet. And then I'm also like, how do I comfort? I just couldn't do two at the same time. But everybody's had an untimely...
And you could. You would just be spreading the poop massacre to the...
Yeah.
To another person you have.
Then I'd be like, hey,
Right.
Serpro, can I get a bid on my carpet, not just my baby's bottom?
Right.
You know what I mean? So that was... It's untimely, and honestly, like I need to have Ashley on because she's so good about usually in these untimely situations.
Yeah.
She always is there for the W.
Hero.
She's always the hero in those situations.
The
And
poop
honestly,
hero.
dude. We need to just put together like an untimely list of all these different like the times that it's happened. Some of them have been astounding. And it's always right after we dress her up, put her in nice clothes. Some cute dress that we bought, and then go to something like
I think she's clearly trying to tell you.
church, funerals.
I don't want to do this.
I
don't like these clothes.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna shit these clothes to death.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude. Anyway,
I feel for you. I understand. I'm a dad. I know.
Okay. Yeah, I know you can sympathize.
Yeah.
So. To anybody out there, and honestly, like, but all of our...
It doesn't make it any easier, though, when you're like, which I know you have a hell of a gag reflex. Like, I'm probably a little better than you on that.
You are, dude.
But
I plug up every time, regardless.
So, like, sometimes I can just kind of, like, put my mind in, like, a whole different zone and just kind of zone out. Like, I'm handling the situation.
Yeah.
So, like, I just go somewhere else so I'm not, like right there wafting in it, and
I'd be fine. I just
start thinking about my like fantasy team or something,
Yeah.
and how shitty that
they
smells.
suck. Yeah.
Which, by the way, it's so funny. The last time we talked about our fantasy team,
Yeah.
I don't want to get stuck on this, but the last time we talked about our fantasy team,
been good.
You were like 0-3, and I was like 3-0.
Right.
You are now 3-4, and guess what? I'm 3-4.
Oh, hell almighty fault. But it's not... Yeah, I know. That's...
Dude, like, I have been on a horrible streak of losses.
And it's not for lack of scoring.
Well, I mean, I've got 5 guys on my team that are out. Right?
Yeah, that's...
And I've also had, like, just terrible luck with, my matchups and, like, been playing against... it's been... I lost to Taylor this last week. I was so mad about that. I wanted to beat Taylor so bad. But... I mean, I feel like I'm still in it, but I've got to get some guys healthy. But it's just kind of funny that, like, the last time that we talked, I was dominating. I was doing awesome. And I haven't won a game since then.
Yeah. You fall... Yeah.
And you were, like, just barely holding your season together.
For
and
sure.
you've, like, kind of come back to relevance. So now we're, like, basically the same. And
flip-flop.
same ice game. So this makes it interesting for the podcast.
For sure. Check back in with us in 4 weeks.
I actually think that both of our teams are possible playoff teams.
Yeah.
We just haven't like put it together the first half, but we still have a half a season to go. So it'll be fun to check.
I think it will. I think it'll come together too. And also back to prescriptions and medication.
Oh, back to that. Okay.
Yeah, like if you are sitting here going, sometimes I have a hard time focusing. I think I have ADHD and need to have medication. We just went from dirty diapers.
Oh my gosh.
To fantasy football.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
In one fell swoop at about 6 seconds.
Dude, I'm telling you, that's actually one of the reasons why I think this podcast, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, and you were like, oh man, everybody says you have to have like this genre or this genre or like niche, and everything. And I was just thinking, like, when we were talking about this, and we've talked about this multiple times, I'm like, my brain just doesn't operate like that. I'm just so all over the place that I can't.
For sure.
Like, I could, but I'm sure there are other people out there like us that their brains operate the same way, and they actually kind of appreciate the diversity of where our conversations.
They're like 6 minutes in, and they're like, "When is this topic going to change?" And the thing is, like niche, whatever.
Wasn't that a philosopher?
Nietzsche, Friedrich Nietzsche. Yeah. But like, if you go to just like specific topic or niche, and you're like, that's what I want to do. I don't know that I could just focus on that all the time and then be like excited about it. Because like every week, I'm just stoked to do this. I'm so excited. It's so much fun. It's the best. I mean, dude, it's awesome. And I think it's because it's like we're talking about all the stuff that we enjoy.
Well, can I just say this from my perspective?
Yeah.
I have like political talk shows and political podcasts that I listen to, and sometimes throughout the day, I'll just be like, you know what? I don't really want to listen to that. I'm not in the mood for that. But if I have a podcast that I listen to that's just kind of like I'm not really ever sure what I'm going to get, sort of like Tim Dillon, I'm just going to say, like, I'm just putting him out there, or even Joe Rogan.
For
you
sure.
never really know what you're going to get from Joe Rogan either. I'm just going to say, like, you're like, I'll see what they got to say.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you don't know exactly what you're going to get, but you know that there are certain things you're just not really in the mood for.
Yeah.
But like with that, you're like, okay, maybe I'll just see what they have to say. So like, I think that there's certainly an area where people can say, yeah, let's just listen to what they have to say.
For sure.
Regardless of what it is.
Yeah, I also think that in a lot of ways, like, I think that there might be a like little mental health aspect to it too, because I think that obsessing over things that are like completely out of your... Yeah, and not even that. Like, but obsessing over things that are, because I'll be honest, dude. Like, I'm kind of obsessing over podcasts. It's not like taking away from my family or anything, but I love it, dude.
Yeah,
I'm in, and I'm sure I obsess over.
Trying to eat that microphone every day,
but obsessing over something that is out of your control.
Yeah,
and I think that's what a lot of the news and political stuff is. And that's why, like,
even like sports.
Well, yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Because if you're, I think that we both used to put a lot more weight from our sports teams on what happened or like whatever happened with the sports team. It actually
affected our emotions
for sure. Yeah,
which I mean that doesn't mean we're not the fans. Like, we're still a fan, but it's like you just have to be like, okay, well,
it's just emotional intelligence. It's emotional intelligence to not...
it also helps when, like, your number one team that you root for has won the Super Bowl, like, 2 out of the last 4 years.
Yeah,
has been there a lot, and, like, 5 or 6 AFC championships hosted in a row. Like, all of a sudden, you're like, yeah, we're pretty good.
That does help. And I'm not going to lie, that probably is an underrated aspect of why, like, maybe we've chilled a little.
Yeah, it's like,
I'd like to attribute it all to just like growth and
the top of the mountain helps a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a lot easier to look down than look up. Your neck gets a lot less tired.
The air up here feels pretty good.
Yeah, it's cold and fresh up here, man.
Yeah,
but
so jumping in, if you don't mind, because we're what, like 45 minutes in.
Yeah.
So
47 and 10.
Yeah, you're right. So So we got emotional support animals.
Oh, this one's a short idea, but whatever.
Conservation versus annihilation and parody news. Jupiter.
Yeah.
You want to save Jupiter for the end? That's like our final segment. Like, I feel like we could hit that.
You think there's a chance in hell we can get through all these?
No, I think that we're going to pick 2 of 3.
Okay. I know that you would want to talk conservation versus annihilation.
Right.
And on the... I might throw out this we probably beat a dead horse with the dog talk earlier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe
let me throw out conservation versus annihilation real quick.
All right, we'll just see we'll see what happens.
Okay. So we both like to hunt,
Absolutely.
Hunting season's coming up. When I say hunting season, like you can pretty much hunt like a lot of things anytime. But what we're talking about in Missouri is deer season. So rifle season. So we've already had bow season going on for a little while, but rifle season, which is the most hunted season of all of them,
for sure,
starts.
It's the most haunted season of all.
That's right. But the rifle season is going to start soon,
yep.
So we're kind of getting geared up for that. We always go up to Middle Missouri, and there's like cornfields and lakes that we like to hunt. Not in the lakes, by the way. That's fish, but
but we are 3 weeks out.
Yeah. So the 11th is opening day,
right?
11th of November. So yeah, we're real close. But by the time this podcast comes out, a couple weeks.
True. Yeah.
But what I wanted to talk about a little bit was, like, we love to hunt. Like, we have a huge and fish, right?
Yeah.
And
heads up, this is a bit of a shift in, like, speed and seriousness, too.
Yeah.
Well, just overall, but... You know.
I mean, like, this is like one of those topics that we want to touch on because we like it. We're into it.
For sure.
Just like
close to the heart.
Yeah, like, back in April, we were talking about going, and, earlier this year, we went down and did some fishing in Louisiana.
Yep.
And then we did fishing in April and May and did crappie fishing.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of like, now we're into the hunting season and stuff like that. So, like, throughout the year, we really enjoy those things. And I'll say this, there's a couple things. Number one, I'm super excited. This weekend is opening day, couple of days of youth season. So I'm going to get to take my daughter hunting for the second time.
Opening and closing day, I believe.
Yeah. They're like, it's a very small season, but it's youth season only. So only kids, and that's awesome because
what are the age requirements?
There's really no age requirement at all.
Okay.
But like I think the recommended is like 6 or 7.
Okay.
And so last year, my daughter, Ella, was 7. I took her for the first time to go deer hunting. But before we did that, I said, hey, look, you got to get trained up on the rifle. You got to go to the range. You got to learn how to use it. You got to learn how to shoot it effectively.
Not a chance in hell that the first time you shoot at a deer is going to be the first time that you shoot a rifle.
Yeah, and that's a misnomer for a lot of people,
Yeah.
And they just think that these guns just do whatever they want on their own. It's like, no, like you are in control. And so, like, that's one of the reasons I wanted to take my daughter to the range and have some time. So last year, about this time, we went to the range, and we were there for like 2 hours, and she shot maybe 3 rounds.
Right.
Because she was just terrified every time she pulled the trigger. It was extremely intimidating.
But this is your 30-30?
I didn't let her shoot my 30-30. I let her shoot my AR.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But we have a deer
round for
caliber
it.
For it. Well, it's the same caliber, but it's a deer round.
Yeah.
And it is 223 is the smallest caliber you can use legally to hunt deer in Missouri.
Really?
Yes. So that is.
I did not realize that.
Yeah. So you can use a 223 to hunt deer in Missouri, but that's the smallest one.
Okay.
And so that is, to me, that's a good entry level rifle for her. Instead of going and buying her whatever, a 270 or whatever other people might be using, but
that'd be
be
a lot for a girl.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, might as well just
absolutely.
Might as well just use this because the chances are when we go out deer hunting, for a day, she might or might not see something or might not shoot something. So, but the point is like getting familiarized with the weapon. So we went and to the range last year, and it was terrifying. She had a really hard time, like kind of just like accepting and getting into using something that she was afraid of.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people.
There's a lot of adults.
Right.
Like her feeling and her fear last year is a lot of adults now.
Yeah. Like 100%. Because they are so fearful and so intimidated by firearms that a lot of people will vote.
That's what exactly
against for like firearm legislation. They're like, oh no, we need to get rid of guns just because they are personally intimidated or afraid of them.
Right.
But what needs to happen is someone that is knowledgeable, that understands the use and the proper function of them, needs to educate these people and help them understand that, like, the firearm is just a tool. It's like a hammer or a saw,
and a lack of education. A lack of education breeds ignorance.
Right. Exactly.
And so, and ignorance breeds bad decisions.
Right. Exactly.
And so, yeah, that's
the gun does not have power in and of itself.
right.
You're the one that gives it power, and if the individual understands that they have the control and the skill to operate that effectively, then it can be a great tool.
Absolutely.
And using the right hands, it can be a great tool to achieve a lot of good things.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also don't want people that are just jackasses that are going out there, cocksure and just, ripping off rounds. We've been in situations before when we've been hunting where some dumbass was walking around doing stupid shit while we were hunting, either endangering himself or jeopardizing the safety of us in our hide sites or in our blinds.
And that's
tree stands.
And that's telltale sign of a lack of education.
That's the
or
ignorance
somebody,
we're talking about.
Yeah,
right.
Somebody that didn't put in the effort or
take
the time to learn.
I watched, Rambo. I'm qualified, that type of thing. But
yeah, for sure.
But that's why I wanted to take
my KD ratio is like on
Call of Duty, right?
It's like 10-1, dude. I'm like,
I'm good.
I got this.
But so I took her out to the firing range. It was like a seriously daunting task for her to get those like first 3 rounds out, right? But she did it. We persevered, and I told her, I said, she was so scared. She was so afraid at first, and then when she first pulled that trigger, she looked at me and she smiled. And she had tears running down her eyes, and she's like, "It wasn't that bad." And I'm like, "That's exactly right." You have to, whatever you fear in life, you have to go straight at it.
Yeah.
And because fear will cripple you. And guns, whatever we're talking about.
Yeah.
Fear will cripple you. And if you are crippled by your fear, the best way to conquer that fear, which I would strongly recommend a book by G. Gordon Liddy. He was a FBI agent. He actually got involved in the Nixon administration and some of the stuff that went down there. So like his story is very interesting. But that book, he wrote a book called Fear. I'm sorry. The book was called Will. And I would strongly recommend reading that book because he talks about how he personally, throughout his life, conquered fear. And he was extremely afraid of all kinds of stuff. But the way he conquered his fear was through, not recklessly, mind you, but through like a good, logical way. He went and he faced his fears one-on-one, and he realized that it wasn't that bad. And that he didn't need to put it like in such a huge, paralyzing place in his life. Right. And I would strongly suggest that to anyone, my children, whoever, is like when you fear something, when you're afraid of something, when you have something that is terrifying to you, that is preventing you from doing something or paralyzing you, like the best way to get over that and to conquer it is to go straight at it.
Yeah.
Get through it, and on the other side, you have the confidence and
take a step towards it and learn about it.
Right, you have the confidence and the knowledge that you know how to get through that.
Right.
And so, like, it took me like 2 hours to get 3 shots out of it last year. So cool though, because watching the progression to this year, we went to the range last week, and Paul was there, so that was really cool.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. Shout out, Paul. We love you. And we shot, and she shot 20 rounds. She shot almost an entire clip. And her last 3 shots were like rim of the bullseye, dead center bullseye.
That's so awesome, dude.
And she was beaming.
Yeah.
And she asked me the next day, she said, so we went on Saturday. On Sunday, she was like, "Dad, can we go back to the range and shoot some more?" And I was like, wow, what a change from a year ago where she was like, I don't ever want to do that again.
For sure, yeah.
To where now she's like, wow, okay.
Like,
I'm actually
like starting to fall in love.
Like, this is pretty good. And so we've got youth season. So I'll make this quick. Youth season coming up this weekend. I get to take her to go and hunt.
That's so awesome.
And now she's like super excited because she knows how to use her rifle. She's confident with the rifle.
Right.
And we can go maybe get a deer this year. So that's so cool. But what I did want to say, the conservation versus annihilation part is just this. And it's like maybe a couple sentences. A lot of people believe that, hunters, fishers, all these, people like us, we're cruel, right?
Right.
We just want to cause suffering to animals and just, we have no we have no concern over the animals.
Yeah.
But however, every single time, whenever you get into that environment, there's two things you realize. Number one, when you take the life of an animal, and I know me and you have taken the life of several deer and gone and like field dressed them and harvested them together, and you go up to that animal and it is not at all like, oh yeah, I just murdered your ass. Like, it's nothing like that.
Right.
It's like, thank you for your sacrifice.
It's a feeling of appreciation.
Yeah.
A deep feeling of appreciation.
Yeah, you actually feel feel like remorse for the animal. You feel bad, truly bad for the animal.
For sure.
That you took their life, but appreciation for the meat that they're going to provide you, and the good support that they gave you as well. So like, I would say like appreciating the animals. Actually, maybe if you appreciate them, maybe even a little bit more.
Yeah.
When you have hunted or fished them,
for sure,
and especially if you eat the meat, because then you appreciate that and you understand the sacrifice. But then at the same time, you also understand and appreciate the conservation efforts, and this is the conservation versus annihilation portion. Because I think a lot of liberals think, oh yeah, like these guys just want to take their ARs out and just murder everything in the woods,
like they just want to mow deer, with their fully automatic AR-15s. Oh yeah.
Quote unquote, they don't know anything. However, I'll just say this: there is for sure there's a definite correlation in my mind when I go out and I'm in the woods and I see deer after deer after deer while I'm hunting, right? And in the state of Missouri, and I'll pass that one up and I'll pass that one up, or you know what? Sometimes I'm just like, I'm just gonna let that one go.
Yeah.
Even when I've got a shot, and I will say that the conservation of the resources that we have, of the deer and of the fish, like when we go fishing, we'll get our limit. We're not going to go past the limit. We're not going to keep fish that are illegal fish.
Yeah,
We're absolutely. Stay right in there. And those
you develop a love and appreciation so much for the sport and the harvest that you're partaking in, that you don't want to do something
like you want to contribute
to the health and wellness.
Overall health of the population,
exactly,
of the animal, of the species as a whole,
for sure,
as opposed to like being a detriment to it, and because you want that to be around for generations to come, you want it to be there for your kids. So that's the whole conservation versus annihilation to me, because I think a lot of these people are like, we just want to they think that that's what we want to do, just go through the woods and murder everything.
Kill.
That's wrong. We want to conserve our reasons. We want to be. We want to make good choices.
And we also, here's one thing that like somebody that hates hunting would never understand and know is that the impact that hunters have had on the genetic quality and therefore probably the quality of life of different species is astounding, because I know so many people that will turn down, like, let's say a buck that's in its got great genetics, right? Something that maybe, I might consider shooting, but it's in its prime reproductive years. Mm-hmm. People go, no, we need to I'm going to let that one walk. I know so many hunters like this that are like, I'm going to let him walk because he's so healthy, he's so strong, that he's going to end up making more healthy, more strong babies. And so, I would venture.
Go to my Instagram account, look up that enormous redfish that I caught. There's a picture of that huge, biggest redfish I've ever caught in my life. That was
that's a result.
That was
that behavior.
Well, that was the day I got COVID, actually, when we were down in Texas.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I got the redfish, and we were talking about it, and we decided to put that redfish back in the water as opposed to keeping it or anything like that. We just took some pictures and put it back in the water. and let it live. And what was the conversation that we had on the boat at that time?
It's because that redfish is going to yield so many more redfish.
Like the genetics of that fish.
Yep.
That's, we're trying to turn that fish back into and just let it go and breed and repopulate. And so, I think.
But we did harvest other wildlife that day,
right?
Because they were the ones that you would want to,
right? Or if we'd caught some redfish that were like maybe 18, 20 inches, something like that. A couple of those would have kept those, right?
Yeah.
But that's the whole conservation versus annihilation.
Yeah.
We're not trying to annihilate the species. We're trying to conserve the resources and harvest them in a responsible manner.
Yes, harvest wisely, and
But you'll appreciate the species more. You'll appreciate the animals more.
Absolutely.
If you're a part of that.
Yeah.
Right? As opposed to just being,
For sure. If you think you're an animal lover, I tell you what, if you're like a tree-hugging animal lover, go deer hunting one time.
Yeah.
Go kill a deer.
Right.
And then see how you feel the next time that the fall rolls around. And you can literally feel in the air when the deer are close to the rut, which is when they're making babies, So it's wild. Go shoot one and then see how different you feel. The excitement, the appreciation, you'll notice them so much more. Yeah. You'll be, more in tune with kind of what's going on between the weather and the deer. It's a great point, dude. I think we're gonna have to get to. Jupiter next week.
I would love to get to Jupiter. Keep it on the top of the list for next week. That was awesome. We got a little serious at the end.
Yep.
That was fun though.
Real quick, from last week's episode, we'll move this next week. We still have to touch on the world stuff that's going on. We know the middleman. We know
Israel, Hamas.
It's all tied up. It's all connected. It's all the it's all
we have. We're not going to unveil it right now. But we have a
inside baseball
pretty good idea of there's one person that is moving all
these
chess pieces.
Yeah.
So
and it's not going to be who you think.
No, it's not. So coming at you next week.
Yeah. So little teaser for that. It'll be 2 weeks after the original, but we'll get to it.
Great, and we'll probably have some trophy bucks hanging on the wall.
Yeah, baby, right here behind our heads.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, love you guys, Grant. Love you. So much fun. That was
it's good to get back in it. Love what you're doing with the studio. Can't wait to get some more going. So
I'm stoked on it, dude. So much, and I have to pee so bad.
Me too.
And I couldn't have come any sooner.
I've got a parents teachers conference in 30 minutes.
All right, dude.
I got to split.
All right. See you guys.
Peace.